Hello, and welcome back
Woo, woo, woo.
to Dice Dropping's Song of Ice and Fire role-playing game, Chronicles of House Weirlight, Part 2. We are still, of course, at Theolden Hall, for now, at least. And we will be, it is
Ominous.
still a massive event, lots of people running around trying to get everything ready, everything perfect for the wedding, which is going to be a lot different than the birthday. Because the birthday, everyone's was just about, and then at the end, everyone's like, happy birthday, happy name day, here's your stuff, and there's a little thing. This is going to be a lot different. There's going to be a lot of ceremony. There's going to be a lot of very, like, in-tight drinking and feasting. We've already been to a Westerosi wedding, but this, of course, will be much more grand, as your house is much more powerful than your cousin house. Henric.
Yes.
You are, while you are, you kind of talk with Namor, went back to kind of wedding planning. Mariella, you're there with him. Henric, you see in the corner of your eye, like leaned like halfway around the way, you see your cousin, Darren, and he's like he's like asking for you. Mariella, your awareness is high enough. You see this. You see this exchange.
Hey there, buddy. What you doing?
When you look over Mariella and he like notices you noticing, he goes. He seems to also ask for you.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Do you reciprocate and go over to your cousin?
Well, is it just me, Henric, and
There's a few people planning right now. There's Ashland is there, so is Wendell.
Only we've seemed to notice him. So
yeah, because he looks like he's asking for you, and then when you notice Mary, like he asks for you as well.
Okay.
But you know you can excuse yourself at this moment.
I think kind of turn to Ashland and just kind of excuse me and Henric for a moment. There seems to be something that needs our attention, but we'll be back.
Of course. Yeah. He's just like, oh, of course, very well. And he like takes another bite of his pear tart, and
we make good pear tarts. Yes, we do.
You do.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So you two walk over to Darren.
Sure. This is rare because he rarely ever engages me.
It's very true.
Yeah, he really doesn't. Yeah, it's like waiting. It's like, yes, cousin. What is it?
Oh, sorry to bother you, both, but I just sort of wanted Henrik. But when you noticed, I realized that you actually would, Mariella, you would be very good to ask this as well. Mariella, this is weird because Darren is looking you in the eye, which just doesn't happen. Shit has changed. His haircut's different. Which was that terrible bowl cut before, and now he actually has like a styled hair. Obviously, your mother's choice.
Worked on him.
His clothes aren't that different, but they're a little nicer. Still good enough to just sort of blend in, not stand out even a little. But he's looking you in the eye and forming full sentences.
Yeah.
Not with charm or grace, but
it's halting, but they're there.
Yeah, exactly. He goes, I realize that you could benefit. I know you're busy, but I don't know what to do. And then when you both are just staring at him, he's like, okay.
Breathe, Darren.
I need your advice. I've received a letter from a girl.
All right. Were you happy to receive the letter from this girl?
Yes, I was.
That's a good.
But
that's a
I'm
good thing.
also very scared and intimidated, and I don't know what to do. She is.
Okay.
I mean, she's beautiful and tall and forthright. His wild hair. He's just like looks off in the distance.
It's the one you met. I think you mentioned when you were with my mother and you guys were traveling. Okay.
Yes. A member of the my freaking brain. She's a Crake Hall.
Right.
She is
Oh.
she is a daughter of one of the Crake Hall siblings. I actually don't know who her dad is. Oh no.
That's all right. Deep
I
breath.
think it's okay.
In.
But we talked and stuff, and Aunt Vivian sort of helped me with that, and I thought the talking went good. She seemed to like that I hunted. She asked me about hunting stuff, and she seemed to like that. And I just sort of went into it, and it was way too much. But she seemed like she liked it, and she said she liked how I smelled, and
Oh.
and
Just kind
I
of
said
share a
this-
look with Henric. It's like, ooh.
Yeah,
I was like,
you're like,
okay.
that's weird.
This woman is
So-
gonna eat you alive.
Yeah.
And she's like, I think the same age as me. But anyway, this is the letter, and I'm not sure what I should do with this.
Yeah.
So you both look over it, and
Status
it
reading.
is, it is, saucy.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
Damn. Okay.
I
not
think-
not like trashy or anything, but it is. But it's not composed. It's like
a
it's
little
medieval.
heated.
It's medieval saucy, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's.
It's a little steamy. Okay.
But there is basically it's an illusion. It's she's alluded to essentially thinking about him when she laid in her bed at night.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. I would definitely like to, before like really reading the letter, I want to
It's
go
also
down to
I
the
will
name.
say it's not composed super great, and her handwriting literally not
Chicken
like
scratch.
super the best.
You have to set
Can I
these
read
two
the
up.
name? Like what she signs off?
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely. Yeah, he says her name. It is. Oh my God, what is her name?
Get this boy a wild woman of the woods.
I just looked at her name. Oh
I believe
no.
it's Melissa Greycall.
Yeah, it starts
Yes,
with M.
yes, it is Melissa. Yeah, it says Melissa Craycall.
Okay. Could I do a status reading to know who that is?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Come here, sheet. Come to me. Status breeding. A 25.
Damn.
Jesus.
Christ.
What's
yeah,
your
I mean
social security number?
the TN was 12.
I would like to know her mother's maiden name and any other
Yeah.
security words.
Her first
Yeah.
pet's name, anything
Mhm.
else. Cool about that.
So
Trying to get her
well,
banking details.
So Melissa Craycall is the second daughter of the heir of House Craycall.
Okay.
Who's like a full grown, like he's like an old. The heir of Craycall is like older than your dad.
Yeah.
And
the
I
Craycall. Generally know because of my past.
yeah,
role.
yeah. The Craycalls have a relationship. The Craycalls are in the Westerlands, but they do have a connection to your mother's house, your mother's old house. They don't like each other super much, but you've met several Craycalls. They always love a party. They are very big people.
Yeah.
And there is sort of like a saying about Craycall women that is not super nice. I mean, it is in like super respects, but like they're seen as like tempestuous women because they are large and have big breasts and big butts generally. And so a lot of
Full-figured, yes.
proper people believe that to be like
Lumptuous women.
not good. But yeah, they're generally tall, well-formed. Melissa, she doesn't have like a lot of accolades that you're aware of. You've heard of her for sure. She is very good at riding horses. And she seems to like horses and like rearing stuff. But you don't know like a ton more about her. There's not like a lot out in the social circles. You do know a lot about the Craycalls, and so like anytime you need any information with a 25, you can be like, would I know if the Craycalls did blah blah blah, and then I will just tell you. I don't want to like sit here and tell you everything about the Craycalls, but they are an influential family in the Westerlands. They contribute a good amount of timber and soldiers. They're one of the only sources of timber in the Westerlands because they control the forest essentially. They have like a treaty with like Cornfield and the Cornfield people, but they control most of the forest at this point. So they control most of the timber trade. So they're like a good family. Pretty good. She's like a second daughter.
Okay.
No one really pays much attention to her. Really, she seems to kind of do her own thing. She was known as sort of. I think the only thing you would know is she was known as sort of like socially awkward. Like she would say kind of inappropriate things.
This
in,
letter
like,
helps support that.
Yeah,
Yes.
like it seems like she doesn't. If she has a filter, it's broken, right? Like she would just she seems to have good manners, but she does sometimes reveal too much. Not about like secrets, but just like things that maybe are better kept. Like
Okay,
Awesome.
TMI, hard.
yeah,
Yeah,
very much
yeah.
like, oh yes, I received a terrible wound. It festered, and it's sort of like she's just like,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, she'll just like go.
These
into
are
stuff
all
like that.
the side effects, and yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
she kind of talks a little too much. When, even
Cool.
though nobody talks
and then
to her.
then I proceed to read the letter. I was like, yep, this tracks.
Yeah,
this
it's
tracks.
scented too.
Oh, lovely.
You can smell it. You can smell it.
Does it smell like
Scent.
boar?
No, it smells of like a perfume, a pretty strong perfume. Either that, or she just put a lot on there.
Probably the latter.
Yeah.
Or a mix.
Mhm.
Mix of both.
Yeah, it's
Oh
pretty
my-
strong, a little salty,
Sure.
which is weird.
Good for her. You got to be forthright to
boar.
catch a man. It's like hunting a boar.
Yeah.
You got to go after it directly.
Yeah, but she seems. But she's coming to the wedding. Vivian invited the Chronicles because of their lumber deal that apparently saved, like that helped with the war effort essentially. So they're coming.
I'm
as
assuming
as
my
guests.
grandparents are also coming to this.
Yeah,
Yeah, lovely, joy, awesome.
you know, your mother 100% did
Yeah.
that on purpose.
Yeah,
Nice.
great, awesome. So Lady Melissa, second daughter of Lord Tippled. Okay. You would probably see her before a raven would be able to
Yeah.
deliver a response.
I know, but I need to respond to this in some way, and he looks at Henrik very pleading, like, I don't know how. I've no person has ever noticed me or shown interest in me, and I know I don't have like a lot of right to ask you for your help, but like I was hoping just like the fact that we're cousins and that I've changed.
It's all right.
And I know you're dealing with your own stuff, but I am terrified
Okay.
All right.
that the only person who's ever shown interest in me, I'm going to insult, or I also am really scared if things go well, because I don't know. I don't know anything.
Well,
I don't know anything.
well, if anything, we could take one step at a time.
Okay. He's like, sliding.
I'm gonna like grab
All right.
her shoulder, like it's okay. Yeah.
Um,
If he's insistent on writing back to her, which
What?
It's
I don't know,
still
but
fine.
what should I write back to her? I don't know. I
If-
don't know how to
if you
respond.
like.
if you want, yeah.
if you like, you can most definitely write a letter and pass it to her while she's here. That way,
Uh-huh.
if you don't feel comfortable speaking to her directly,
I just don't. I just want to know what is the right thing to do. I don't necessarily want to write her. But if I should, I would. Should I give her a gift?
I think
You-
just
you-
when acknowledging that you got her letter and that you were appreciative of it and her feelings to you.
He
is
nods.
important.
He's like, I was.
And
I was very
and
appreciative
Darren,
of
if
it.
you think you can say that to her on your own, then go ahead. If not, maybe my sister's idea of writing a letter and giving that to her is best. Either way, I'm sure she would appreciate it.
He's just like
It's
nodding. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
if you
Um.
would like to possibly discuss what to write before writing the letter, I'm sure either Henrik or myself might be able to assist.
I'm so bad at writing. I mean, my penmanship is very good. Aunt Vivian made sure of that. But like, I've never composed something for someone. I mean, I've written a lot of poetry, but I never. It's
Remember that.
it's not for
Memories of the
anyone.
wedding.
Remember that? Like, oh, yeah. Okay.
Uh-huh. Yep, you remember.
Well,
I don't. Should I do?
Henrik,
I'm
would
not
you
good at-
prefer to assist Darren or possibly assist, like motioning back towards the hall?
I think me and Darren can work something out. Definitely don't want to go back. Yeah.
Right?
I think-
yeah, you just being like, no, you can go. Like that's,
Oh, no.
I will save you. Like,
I got this. Yeah.
All right.
No, I'll help Darren if it work out your thoughts and what do you want to say. If that's all right.
I mean, yeah, I would love any help. And I know you two are busy. It's just like any kind of advice. I would be
I
good.
think definitely being genuine will
Okay.
help.
Okay.
I think if this makes you nervous, don't be afraid to take your time to say what you want to say. That way you say what you want to say.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah, it does. It does.
All right.
Um,
If you would like my opinion as well, even after speaking with Henrik, you can find me.
Really? Thank you, cousin. I really appreciate that. I know we haven't really talked at all.
Well, I tried. You just kind of did not seem interested way back.
I wanted to get to know you, but I was scared that I didn't deserve to get to know you.
Does it help that I'm now shorter than you?
He laughs like so nervously. He's like, it's funny. A little.
Oh.
But
Darren.
Aunt Vivian has helped a lot. Oh God, I should have said that you two look really good today. Oh, I'm supposed to compliment people when I mean.
Oh, Darren,
I
you're
messed
really
up.
fine. Your family is anyone who can be honest with each other and doesn't have
But you
to
guys do.
with
But you
all
do
that
look good
fidelity.
today.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do you want to work on the letter, Darren?
So
You wanna-
why don't
Sure.
you go
Okay.
work on this with Henrik? If you need me, I will probably be here managing wedding things. Is there anything
Okay.
you want me to make sure of, Henrik, while you're assisting?
Already really good at placating to Ashlyn's demands. I guess if anything.
Well, it helps that. Yeah, it helps that Ashella finds me more in favor at the moment.
That's also it. So yeah, I think right now I'm still trying to work out a strategy of how I'm supposed to meet this girl I'm in love with. So
Well, if
Yeah.
you need help with that, you know where to find me. Kind of pat Henrik on the arm, and it's like kind of look to Darren. It's like, just take your time.
Thank you. I know you. I appreciate this a lot.
Go while I wrangle basically what the equivalent is of very rich cats.
Nuts. Yeah. Mary, when you come back in, Wendell's like, perfect. You can settle a debate. Now, now about the golden archway. Just,
Jesus, all right.
and then you're just like, okay.
Awesome.
Hey, you're not paying for it. So,
This is true.
yeah. So you go back to it. Henrik, you walk off with Darren. Kind of back to his quarters to sort of help him get his feelings out, and he's like, should I talk about hunting? She really liked the hunting thing. She thought
say, yeah, talk
thought my taxidermies was really cool.
all right, well, I'm glad you all have a common interest, and you're all really good at hunting. So I'd say,
I've been apprenticing with your master of the hunt. He's a nice guy.
I'd say maybe add something that you'd like to do with her while she's here. Like if you'd like to show her around the grounds, or maybe take her out hunting as well, or out riding.
There are boars. We have brush boars. She likes boars. I could take her to see brush
Imagine
boars.
so. Yeah, I think she would like.
She has deep forest boars, which are much bigger, and brush boars are much smaller. And maybe she'd like them because girls like small things, right?
I think just add that you'd like to go hunting with her. I think that'd be good.
Okay.
Don't need to get in detail too much right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But just alone, just like us. Like, how do we?
I mean, you would most likely, if you're out alone with a lady, you most likely have to have a chaperone with you. So no.
Okay, what's that?
Okay.
Like okay, but like
Yes, another.
okay, so like I don't understand what, because like her letters like I don't. He's just like hyperventilating.
All right, you know what, dear? Let's start from the beginning. So first off, just thank her for the letter, and I guess how did it make you feel when you got it?
Just like excited.
Okay, that's good.
And you're like coding for it's horny. He got
okay,
very horny.
I got that. I am going to try to,
because you read the letter, Henric. It's a horny letter.
It's a horny letter that made
You've never written
boy...
a letter this horny before.
Yeah, a horny letter that was very well received. I'm gonna try to help him replicate that, I guess, enthusiasm, limiting the horniness as much as possible.
Excellent. Good stuff.
Let's take the horniness down.
Which is really funny coming from me, but yeah,
I'll
I'm trying to take the horny
3.
down for once.
All right, we're gonna take the horny down. We're gonna add this. Okay. All right, cool. So you're dealing with that, Henric. Yeah. So, Vivienne.
Yes.
What are you currently doing? What do you want to try to engage with at this stage of the wedding? You've secured a high septum of the Sept of Baelor, no less.
Yeah.
Expect anything different?
So as with shifting everything off to at least like planning wise with Catalina, I would like to introduce Ashella to the younger kids and get to know her. My goal, I guess, get into intrigue with her with the goal of friendship with Ashella.
To get to know her better and make her like excellent. Yeah. So Ashella's kind of just been in a room. You send like a runner to go get her, and she does come down. She's in like the same dress she was in when she arrived because it hasn't been that long. And she's just like kind of walks up very pristine into the parlor. And what does she see when she comes in? Who's in there?
Right. So I definitely it probably amounted to nothing asking her like family what her favorite foods were until I got to Ashton. But I definitely would like her like favorite foods and snacks and tea out on like one of our mini terraces that overlook our land, so it's outside.
Excellent. Yeah, you got great views.
Yeah. Because I know she's really, I know she's really limited in where she go because she can't be where Henric is.
Yeah.
And then I would like Eric, Valina, Philippa, and Tisea there to meet their new sister-in-law.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because of like people taking care of the babies, is it okay if Caleb's there too?
100%.
Yeah. Cool. Just so like they're all playing together and stuff.
No problem.
Absolutely. I used to Tisea too, right?
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah, Tisea is like the only one who's like sat at a little chair, a chair with them. And when Ashella comes in, she goes, "Oh, hello." Tisea immediately stands up from like her chair. And she goes, "Ashella, you should sit here. It's the best seat." And Ashella's like, "Thank you." And she goes over and sits down, and then like Tisea sits in like the seat that's like in the middle of them, and then she's just like staring at Ashella. And Ashella like kind of looks around and smiles and looks at you, Lady Vivian, and goes, "This looks like a lovely spread, Lady Vivian. Thank you for your invite. I was a little surprised."
Well, I know this part of a engagement is difficult. So I wanted to be let it known that you are welcome in our house, and that I am very excited to get to know you as another daughter.
Okay, so well, that sounds like a good start to the intrigue.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Now I just gotta get Ashella. Where did you go? Where did you go?
I want Tisea to be your wing woman. It's all I want.
Listen, Chisea just wins all intrigue because she's so fucking cute.
I love her so much.
She's just a little lady.
She is just a little fucking lady. Pretty cute. Where the hell is Ashella's sheet?
Vivian wins.
No.
But I can tell you where it'll be.
Maybe a
It'll be the
win.
last spot you look.
Right? There's Ashlyn. I have all the other Ashfords. Where'd she go?
It could be because we've seen her before.
Mm. Yeah, she might be.
Yeah, I never organized this good. God damn it. Oh, that's Michael. Dang it.
It
Well,
would have
what
been
if you
up
learn?
around like wherever you would have kept people that we met in King's Landing.
Yeah, I'm looking around there. Where the hell? Who the fuck?
Somebody we didn't meet, obviously.
That's someone. That's right. That's someone
Right?
you guys didn't meet.
Mhm.
I want Sad Dad. Bring Sad Dad back.
Aw.
No.
We've lost our chance
We
with
lost
Sad Dad. I think.
If we
Mhm.
can get an engagement to the north, we can visit Sad Dad. So
Mhm.
I
Listen,
I know a guy in the north.
his
we got
first.
3 other daughters. He's
Got like a wildling woman daughter.
Yeah, and he also has a proper daughter.
Yeah.
Who's very into the South and dresses and
Mhm.
all kinds of stuff. Where did she go? Where did she go, my sweet Ashella?
Scroll up to find.
She's gone to
is
the
she-
fatherland.
If
Where-
only there
where
was
is
a
she? Oh,
found her. Oh, you found it.
I found it. Yep.
Where was she hiding?
She was in the adversary.
I wonder why. So long.
Everybody laughed when I called her.
Eventually, I'm
delightful.
gonna move her, but like,
Mm-hmm.
not
I think
yet.
she should stay there for now.
Not yet. Not quite
For
yet.
Henric specifically.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay, yeah, what is her intrigue defense? Yeah, that's about right. All right. We're here. We did it. All right, cool. Yes. So, I mean, you go first
Yeah.
because of your ability.
Disposition.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
What
is your
Here's
disposition?
the thing.
We know your goal. Your goal is friendly.
Yes. So the only thing I know about Ashella is her reputation because my kids don't tell me anything.
Which is very good. She has a very good reputation.
So I think what makes the most sense to me would be friendly because she's always seemed like a very polite.
She was always very friendly to you.
a very polite, friendly young girl, and so I think friendly would make the most sense. Amiable
Excellent.
would probably be the only other side with that, but I
Sure,
think
friendly.
friendly makes the most
Excellent.
sense.
I know Ashella's to you. So yeah, you go first.
Okay.
What is your technique?
So
It feels like charm.
charm, probably definitely.
It feels like charm because this is the cakes, the view, like
Yeah.
We have set a scene.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, convince is more like an aggressive, like just like a
Yeah,
straight
I'm not trying to
thing.
be
Logic.
aggressive with her.
Yeah, like the Tedric was like, that's in the past. This is now let's make a deal, right?
Mhm.
But you're like, sweetie, how are you? How are you doing? How's this
Yeah.
going for you? I know what this is like. This is so that I feel charm is the
Definitely,
is this
100%.
is the way.
Mm-hmm. This is the way.
This is
Yeah,
the way.
then charm will for sure be how I go.
Excellent. So what do you do? What's your opening gambit?
Yeah. I think. Yeah. I know the circumstances of this engagement, and your being here were not what any young woman dreams of. But I want you to know that in the outcome of this, you being a part of this family, you will have, I would like to say friends, but also what I believe you were taught were allies. I want nothing more than you to be fully assured that I am in your corner, not just for Henric's benefit, but because I know you are when I've met your family, you are vibrant and bright and far more intelligent than you let on.
Okay. So why don't you give me that influence roll,
Okay.
Bobby?
Is her status 4 or higher?
Yes.
Okay. So I will get so let me just make sure that's not just on a certain thing.
I would just increase your
on
charm
all-
by yeah.
Yeah, it's all persuasion checks. So it
Yeah.
just increases my
Nice.
charm by 1. So
There
I'll
you go.
just-
Go for it. Let's see what you roll, you fucking
Here we go.
monster.
And you call
Okay.
Thorsten a monster.
A
Sure.
monstrous number. All right.
Okay, yeah, of course. +2, of course, right? Because
Yes, plus
charismatic.
2, of course, 'cause
Oh, of course,
charismatic.
yeah. So 30.
Mhm.
Awesome. So let me see how many fucking degrees of success that is. Okay, huh? So,
A number.
So that is okay, so
Listen, I talk
4
real quick,
degrees.
That's it.
That's 4 degrees of success. And then your persuasion rank is 5.
Mm-hmm.
Great, good. So that is 5 times 4, so that's 20 influence damage. Minus her disposition.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Okay, yeah, you've basically just smashed her with charm. You she could take frustration to keep this going, but I don't think she will.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she will. I had like a thing. No, even then that won't be enough. Yeah, you just
You destroyed her.
yeah, you just destroy her.
If she were to take a knife out onto me, I would lose instantly. So like this is
Mhm.
this is the danger I live in.
Indeed.
A give and
Are-
take, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I think you see her features soften a bit, and she kind of goes. You're being serious, right, Vivian?
I 100%.
Okay, cool. You use persuasion, not deception. So yeah,
Yeah.
duh. Yeah. So she just goes. Thank you. I believe you. And you see there's like a lot of weight in that sentence.
Mm-hmm.
The I believe you is this pretty serious like statement you think coming from her. If you kind of feel that. And she kind of looks at you and goes, I'm glad to know that I will have people here. Sasea goes, yeah, we're going to be sisters. Which means you have to drink a lot of tea with me. And you guess you can say no, but it will make me like you less. And Ashella laughs and she goes, well, I can't have that. And she goes, can I say you're very pretty? And she's like, I was going to say the same thing. You're so gorgeous. And she goes, I think, yeah. And she just like, Sasea fluffs her hair. And she laughs and smiles. And Vivian, you feel you've seen her smile and laugh before, but there is a little bit of like her real self in there. You notice a lot of similarities between her and like Mariella, where Mariella kind of has this thing where she guards herself very intensely. She guards herself through like propriety, where Ashella prides herself in like charm and frivolity, essentially. There's sort of a similarity there. But she is going to look at you and go, Lady Vivian, what am I to expect with your son? Because she kind of like touches something in like a part of her dress, almost like she's fiddling with something that you can't see.
It's a knife. Look out.
For sure. And she goes, I don't know what to really make of what this is going to be. And she looks like she doesn't really want to ask you this.
Right.
But like she also, it's like a moment of, you've kind of like opened up a moment of weakness for her.
Yeah. If she'll let me, I will like reach across the table and grab her hand. You will always have a voice here. Please speak.
I guess I just want to know his intentions. He seems ashamed of what he did, but I don't want to live in a household where my husband just feels ashamed and doesn't talk to me. I just... I never wanted this necessarily. Not that I am not seeing the benefits of it. And she kind of smiles at you, and the tea is quite good, looking at Tisea. But I see the way your husband and you act. And there is devotion. And I just want to know if that is possible with your son. And we're alone, and you've come out here, and I know you would never speak ill, and I shouldn't be asking this. And like you've definitely caught her, you've made her in a place that she's never been in before.
Right.
And you've just ripped down her defenses, because that's what you do. That's like your thing. Which is like, now you're like, maybe that's why Mariella got really good at building up defense.
This is a weird parallel between me and my own mother, but I'm not gonna think about that right now. We're just gonna pack that away. We're gonna talk about that later when she's
Put that on the rug for now.
When she's happily married and has a daughter of her own, then maybe we'll talk about it and be like, hey, see? But yeah, no, I will nod my head and be like, in all honesty, much like yourself, who has the Ashford name to uphold, Henric has had the privilege and illusion of the Weirlight name. His father is loved by his people and has a legacy to withhold that is, I think, insurmountable for most sons. And on top of that, Henric was not given the strict guidance of some other sons. And that is both the delight and the detriment, I believe, of the Weirlight heirs. In the same instance where they are dreamers and passionate, they do not see the world as us women have to see it.
When you say that, there's this deep reaction within her. You see it. She's still in a very vulnerable state due to you destroying her in an intrigue.
Nice.
And you see this vulnerability, and when you see the way women sees it, there's this like, it's almost as if she becomes like a statue. Not like she goes still, but she goes hard. You know, like it's like she knows what you're talking about to maybe a degree that even you don't know. There's this, suddenly you realize this young girl has this. She suddenly looks 10 years older.
Gotcha. And then I will just squeeze her hand. But devotion, that is something Henric has inherited from his father tenfold. He is loyal and devout and passionate to a degree that I think will... I've already seen it. He will be a fantastic lord because he has had an example of it. A husband... maybe less so. Henric is not, Lord Weirlight is not as expressive in romancing as he is with warfare. But I will guarantee you, Henric will put all effort into trying. Maybe not right away, because he will figure out things on his own. But once he figures it out, he will devote everything to it. He's a perfectionist in that way.
So yeah, she'll look at you and be like, well, that's all I want, really. I just want him to... because he started this whole thing. I guess I just want him to not weep and moan about how he ruined my life or whatever. I just want him to devote himself to... I don't want to say me, but... I guess I just wanted him to try. And I never... Why am I saying this? And she's just like, very like, I don't talk about this stuff. Like,
I will say, Ashella, the benefit of being a part of the Weirlight house is that I have been given an avenue to feed my mind and thrive in the areas that I have been able to. Mariella as well. And you will soon as well. If you want Henric to be a certain way, or you want him to express something to you, be not afraid to tell him. Yes.
That's my problem, Lady Vivienne. If I have to tell him this, I feel like it will set a precedent for our marriage, one I don't want. I guess I want him to just try on his own volition, and if he does, I would reciprocate. But unless he does that on his own, I don't see why I should correct him, as this is his not fault, but his actions led to this. And it is not my responsibility to make it right.
I understand.
I want him to make it right. I just want him to make it right, and I don't care if he apologizes. I just want him to act. That's all.
Then, in the patience that is expected of us women, do not
She nods.
do not temper it with disappointment. Because I will guarantee you Henric will not disappoint you. And I'm not saying that just as a mother, because there are certain things Henric has done that has certainly disappointed me. But he has wanted a marriage that not only benefits his family, but I know deep down he wants the truest love.
He is a bit of a romantic.
His father's the same way, that all the Weirlight women are. Thorsten is the only exception so far that I've known. Though he does have a great love of books, so that might be it.
Dude, it's just cut to Thorsten just like leaning up, over a bookcase, just staring at a book that's slightly out, just like, hey.
Damn straight.
Thorsten's a different kind of
I'm sorry. I identify as a book.
Yeah, there you go.
He just caresses his spine.
I was born as a book on the
Librarian.
inside. I was born as a book on the inside.
Mhm. You're just like,
to a whole
okay,
new level.
didn't know you were here. You seem a little out of place.
I know I haven't read you in a while, but it's not like I don't miss
Oh
you.
Lord.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't think about you often. When
Give
I'm
me another
reading the
chance.
others, too.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
I'll light a candle. We can meet up later.
Chris has walked in on that several times.
Yeah.
Doesn't phase her anymore.
You're like, oh, okay. Well, look, there he goes.
Again.
The first time, he's like, nothing!
Oh dear.
All right. So yeah, you have gained friendship. It goes up 2 times because
Yeah.
of the friendship, and you use charm, which has the benefit of increasing it again.
Yeah,
So-
actually,
She's got equality.
it's equal to the number of bonus die I have in charm, so it actually goes up by 3.
Fucking disgusting.
Okay.
'Cause
And you said I was
am-
disgusting?
Yeah, because I am magnetic.
All of us are disgusting in our own personal and special
all-
ways.
Pretty gross,
Good.
so yeah.
Good. Okay.
Again, if a child were to stab me, I would be dead. So
No,
Same
Okay.
here.
You and
Same
Thorsten
here.
both. A child with a
Mhm.
butter knife.
Okay. So she was indifferent towards you,
Mm.
and now she goes up to amiable, up to friendly, up to affectionate.
Yes, another daughter.
Some
Yeah, you
masculination.
do it. She is your daughter-in-law.
This
Well,
one
about
you
be
get to
anyway.
keep.
You're
Mhm.
just
True.
collecting children.
I
Mhm.
am. Well, most of them are gonna 3 of them are going. Well, technically 4 because we adopted. 4 of them are gonna leave. They're not gonna be here.
The girls
So,
leave.
yeah.
Yeah.
The girls leave,
Yeah, that is sad.
and then I'm just left with Garrick. So
This is the daughter she gets to keep. Yeah.
And Eric.
and Eric, but we haven't seen what his personality is. I bet he's gonna be a little smart boy, and I love his little cheeks.
So
All right.
risky.
You're doing the way of the maester.
No. He's probably just he can be the steward. We don't need.
He can be an
to go-
Orton. Leave him alone.
He can be an Orton. He needs to
Thorsten's
have
like,
children.
but chains. All right. Fantastic. So you've had that time with Ashella.
Mhm.
Henric, while you're working on something, a messenger comes to you. People start handing out mail, essentially. It's like what's it called, the rookery,
Raven
essentially. The rooker is handing out messages to people, and you have one, Henric.
Ooh, okay.
Mm.
Also from another girl. Do I have a secret admirer somewhere out there?
No. It says, heard you were getting married. I happily accept your invitation and cannot wait to see you again, Oberyn Martell.
Oh,
I just got to real quick in my hand. God, who was in charge of the fucking guest list again? God damn it.
You do not recall sending Oberyn Martell
I don't think we did. No.
an invitation.
Wait. Oh. Great.
Mhm.
He's gonna come here
And
and
if you
start
excuse
some
me for
shit.
a moment, I think you've got the letter thing handled. If you need anything, please run it by my sister. I'll be right back.
He's gonna come here and start some shit is what he's gonna do.
Fantastic. Great.
We have Tyrell's coming.
Oh my god. I forgot about that too. Holy shit. Oh, so dead.
Alright. Okay.
I thought this wedding couldn't get any more complicated and convoluted.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yep, Oberyn Martell will be here for your wedding, apparently.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Excellent.
I'm sure he's not at all bitter. I'm sure he's let that time pass when I him in jousting. I'm sure he doesn't hold
on your
grudges
in your
or
first
anything.
joust.
Yeah, I'm really sure he doesn't hold grudges or anything like that at all. I
No.
think
Oberyn
I think
Martell.
no,
No, he hasn't poisoned men that he's fucked the wife of, and then they got mad, so he poisoned them.
no.
He hasn't done that 5 times.
I'm sure I'm fine.
The best. All right, cool. Just wanted to let you know.
Thank you for that.
So you're just like, where do you go with this information, Henric?
First off, I'm gonna tell Orden because he's my friend. I feel like every problem I have now, it's like, no, I know they run the house mostly, so it's like, help.
Yeah, so you tell Orden. Orden's like, you
Heads
invited
up.
Oberyn Martell.
No, I didn't invite him. Not that stupid.
Well,
he
he's
just
coming.
wants- Yeah, he's just showing up. So,
Well,
okay.
refusing him would be dangerous.
Isn't my intent, but I am also trying to work out how we're going to have him alongside.
I mean, it would be good for our.
Tyrells
I mean,
come.
yes, the Tyrells would be difficult, but it is still. We could look at it this way: it is still representation of the Martell family. I mean, it's not bad.
It is a big deal. I know.
Having a Martell at a wedding is generally Martells only usually go to royal weddings, so at least outside of Dawn. So we could use this as a boon, but we will need to be very careful, and I will put my men on alert.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, this is going to be. Oh God, this. Well, I do not envy you planning the seating, and he just like pats you on the shoulder.
Right. I'll get on that now.
Yeah. So you've alerted Orton.
Yeah.
Did you want to go anywhere else with this?
Oh God, who else should I tell? Probably tell my parents, honestly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Much later, you find Vivian and Tedric. They're having afternoon tea on a veranda. It's very nice and relaxing. They both look very satisfied and tired.
Great.
But yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you walk onto the veranda. Tedric, Vivian, you see your son.
Ooh. Henric, how is the planning going, dear?
They're going wonderfully. I've been working on them. Ashton's been full of helpful comments, which, of course, it's a sister's wedding, but not a issue, but just something I think you should be aware of, since it may cause be problematic in the future. Oberyn Martell is apparently coming to the wedding. I've just got a raven from him.
Again, just like.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. What?
Right. Yes.
Oberon Martell.
Yes, and it's. If the Ashfords really wanted this wedding to stand out, having another lord from a major house coming to attend our wedding is a pretty big deal. So,
Yes, it is. It would be very lucrative.
Doesn't he only attend the royals' weddings?
He does.
Yes.
And most, if not all, Reach houses hate the Martells. So, is he invited? Did he invite himself, or I did not invite him.
I did not invite him, and as far as I was concerned, no one else did either.
Did he?
Only
He's not planning to kill you, is he? I mean, you gave back his horse. Would he have a reason to kill you?
I don't think he let me. Wait, no, he did. Actually, I did give back his horse and everything. So yeah, good. No, and the only lords I invited from on the Reach were about it. I possibly some might have heard about it, but yeah. So.
I understand. Well, I mean, didn't you invite that boy? What was his name?
Yeah.
Wild Tiger?
Like Tiger Wild, yes.
Tiger Wild. Yep, he's coming.
Isn't
Such
he from? Isn't he Dornish as well?
Yes, he's from there.
That's
I've invited him.
that's possibly
Oh,
how.
Right,
Right.
could've told me,
Well,
but,
we
yeah.
of course are not in a I mean, we could turn. I would not recommend turning.
I was not
away
planning on refusing.
Oberyn Martell. We'll just have to.
Martells do
you-
have a status of 7.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right. So we'll
Yeah.
just have to do some finagling. It would be good. I am always an advocate of having more allies outside of the Reach.
This is true.
And if Oberyn Martell has graced you with his presence at your wedding, there has to be a reason. The man does everything on his own whim, as far as I know.
he does, even though he represents his family. Last time we spoke, even though it was like almost 3 years ago, he seemed to be in favorable conditions. I gave him a wide berth after the joust ended, but didn't say anything.
As far as I know, you've done everything
so-
right, but Dornishmen have killed men for lesser things, so who knows? Have you already told Orton about?
Yes.
Good. Then that situation.
He's
will be set.
making his men a little more on guard,
have
and we're trying
to-
to work out how to
I don't
avoid
know.
any collisions with him
yes.
and the Tyrells.
I do. Yes, I don't know Oberyn to poison food. As far as I know, he likes to poison his weapons, so we'll have to be very careful if he challenges anyone to a duel. But we'll.
You're having a tournament with the wedding, yes?
Yes, of
Fantastic.
course.
Of course.
Yes,
Of course,
so
it
we'll
is
have-
in honor of the bride and groom.
Right. So we'll just. We should alert Thorsten to perhaps get some antidotes in case anyone. Anyone's
Hila-
I think it's a good
Hilariously enough, I was literally about to say, Thorsten, you do get a report from one of Orton's men to create antidote specifically for snake venom near and around the Dornish Red Sea.
Okay.
That seems
Want me to roll
weirdly
for that?
specific, but okay.
weirdly specific.
Orton knows shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You need me to roll for that?
I mean, that's.
No,
No, I did not want you to worry. I know this
you roll for it when they take the antidote if they need it.
Okay.
Mm,
which I'm sure is going to be a disgusting roll anyway.
Yeah.
mhm.
You were saying, Henric. Yeah.
I am sorry to come to worry with this. Me and Orton have been doing everything to figure this out and make sure everything goes smoothly, but I know you don't like to be taken by surprise in these matters, so I just wanted to let you know.
It's a surprise, of course, but no worry at all. I'm, in fact, very proud of you for being so diligent in covering all the bases for this very sudden invitation. So, well, we can only be as prepared as we can be.
Yes. I'm going to have to do a few more things before the wedding then.
That's very. But perhaps you can use this as an opportunity to see if Lord Martell knows anything about Lord. Is it Lord or So Wild? I'm not sure what the proper.
It's Lord. I believe he has like an actual
Technically speaking,
It's
he is Sir Wild. He is a lord, but he was like deposed from his lands, so he wants to get them back. So
Yeah,
if you
he-
are in
he's
support of
working on
him,
that.
you would call him Lord Wild, right?
mm,
Or
I
just
think that's what we're
Yeah.
buds, yeah. So
I know you had some inclination toward Lord Wild, so perhaps seeing where Lord Martell or Lord Oberyn stands in that regard, this would be a wonderful opportunity. You should inform Nymora. She's half Dornish, so perhaps to get at least. I know the Dornish operate in a different way than Westerosi, so perhaps getting tips from her to
Mhm.
how to
we should
act.
spend some time there. That's a
Mhm.
wise idea. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Excellent.
So find Nymora now.
Yeah, so we're gonna go over Nymora.
Hello.
You are in the parlor with Jaren. You have been talking with him and have sort of like put the kids are playing now, and I know you have very much been enjoying that. Henric, you see Nymora sitting in a chair.
very
Kinda-
wistfully watching the babies.
Mm-hmm.
It comes in like Imagine Henric's been just, like, running from person to person, so a little sweaty. I'm like, hey, okay, Limora.
Hey.
Oh, Sir Charon, you're here too. Fantastic.
Lord Henric, why do you look like you've run half a mile? Are you alright?
Not quite that much, but you know, I always forget how big this place is, and then I run up
It's-
and down all the stairs and
very
remember.
big.
So yeah,
Fantasy big.
all right.
Fantasy big.
I need some of your advice on, I guess, what the Dornish are like. I know you spend a lot of time there, and you know, and you are you, and very different from anyone else, but also have a unique knowledge about that.
I mean, I have not been back to Dorne for several years, so, but I can tell you what it was like when I was there.
Grabs a chair, just does that scooch in thing. Yeah.
I mean, I still keep in
Please.
contact with my father, so.
Yeah.
I wish Henrik was this attentive in school.
Lessons, yeah.
Too little, too late there, Thorson. Sorry, man.
Lord Henrik, what is this about? Because Dorne is,
Right,
you know,
big place. Sorry, I
a
should
quite
specify.
large place, and
Right.
there are many different cultures, and
Sorry about that. Well, apparently Oberyn Martell is now coming to the wedding, and
Clarissa. You walk in 3 seconds before Henrik says that, and with your awareness, you hear that. And you see him talking to Nomura.
is
Sorry.
my awareness high enough? No, I have a 2 awareness. I don't.
No,
I
you don't notice her.
Clarissa
You're
coming
Yeah,
in,
yeah. no.
you're a little blind right now. You just hear Oberyn Martell is coming to the wedding.
and I go, oh.
And Mora, you've had a little bit of history with Oberyn Martell. Your the Santagars and the Martells are
They're good friends.
they're
yeah.
very close.
So okay, all right. So my, whew. Is this because you beat him?
Standing in
Is
the
this
doorway,
because you
just-
beat him in the tournament? Is he coming here to kill you?
From what I know, he is not. The
right.
letter I hand over just said that he
Yeah.
seemed. It could be misleading, but he seemed excited and happy to come by. It is
It just it just says my friend. I heard you were getting married, and I am happy to accept an invitation. Oberyn Martell.
I mean, like I got the sense he was upset. I was warned not to be near him after the joust, but like that was almost 3 years ago. No more. I'm sure everything's fine now.
It's odd with Oberyn. He is. He holds a very long grudge. And he is very, very proud. But the fact that you beat him and did not rub it in his face and did not treat him as if he was, filthy Dornishman. There is a what do you say? Like a fine line between hating someone and respecting them.
All right.
I do strongly suspect that if he comes here and he finds you lacking, or if he senses weakness in you, that he will absolutely try to kill you. Because that's just the person that he is, and that is just how Dorne is. It is very much more line of succession is very much more fluid. By fluid, I mean poison. There is, and because in Dorne anyone can inherit.
Yes, I understand that.
People have much, especially women, have much more reason to try and claw their way to the top. All right. Well, I mean, the first thing that you're going to want to do is make him feel welcome.
Yes, I would
Making
do that with all of my guests. Yeah.
The first thing that I would recommend would be trying to find someone who is somewhat familiar with Dornish cuisine and importing some of the spices from Dorne. No one here is going to like. They can be very hot. But even if you have some Dornish dishes available, it will be appreciated. Oh gods, the Tyrells.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like at that point, Larry, who has
Marissa,
fully
yeah.
processed,
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Henric, as long as you
Marissa.
don't die. Hi, Sir Nymor. It's a pleasure to see you again. She gives Jaren a kiss on the cheek. As long as you don't die, this could be incredibly good for us. You understand?
Yeah, wasn't planning on doing it on my wedding night, but
Well,
every once in a while,
things don't exactly go as planned here at Theoden Hall. So, and
Never
you,
do.
she
Say that
turns.
fucking again.
And you, she turns to Jaren, will not be getting into any kind of close combat with this man. Are we understood? I've watched you nearly die of poison before. Yes?
Is that like Jaren looks like,
Not negotiable. I don't. It's a yes. The answer is yes.
but the tournament.
You've won a tournament before, my love.
But this is, I have to represent House Weirlight and House Bert. Okay.
Right. And House Birchsong, that's what you were going to say next, correct?
Yes.
And if you're dead from poison, how well will you be representing our house then?
Oh, I don't think Oberyn Martell has any reason to poison
oh,
me. I'm a minor landed knight. I bet he's never even heard of me.
Huh, yeah, he seems like the rational type, don't you agree?
Shake my head.
He's just like, he's really like.
Yep.
We'll discuss it more when the time comes, won't we?
I suppose we will,
Oh boy.
my love.
We know who
man.
wears the pants in that relationship.
Yes, my
Like-
son. Where is my son?
The Jaren's like, he's with the, he's, oh, actually, yeah, they'd be back at this point. He was with Lady Vivian for a while. There's a large play date, but now they are back here.
I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, I will go find him and scoop him up.
Yep. He is currently being like hugged by both Philippa and Velena. They're just like holding him, and he's just like and when you come up, you see Philippa look up at you, Clarissa, and he goes, "He's our brother now."
Oh, is he?
Yes.
You've claimed him.
Yes, and then Velena goes, "You can have Eric."
Oh.
I don't know how Eric or your mother would feel about that, but
Trade.
They're just like holding him, and he's just like, nom nom nom.
well, I do have to get ready.
All right, cool. Intrigue with the toddlers. No,
Go. Persuade the top.
persuade the toddler.
Into combat.
Larry,
One of them
it's-
is a weird clone baby, so
Be aware of that.
just vines shoot out of her hand. Just fucking- the child is ours.
Yeah, I feel like having
Druid
gotten
shit out
eyes
of
on
nowhere.
Caleb and
Yeah.
seeing that he's okay and
Caleb's fine. If you want to like separate them, it's not hard.
no, he can stay. I think it's cute. So
Mhm.
she just nods, gives him a kiss. All three of them, actually. And
Yeah,
turns
and
around.
yeah, when you kiss her, he grabs your face real fast, and he looks you dead in the eyes and goes, "Nam now and then," just like he says something to you essentially.
Yeah, I know. I like
Um,
them too. I think
um,
you'll become great friends.
Yeah, and then he just goes, "No, no, mama."
Oh dear, we're going to have an issue with this, aren't we? Okay.
And then he grabs your nose.
Yeah, Philippa,
Clary,
Verena.
um,
Oh,
he's...
one second, Nymora. Yes, I will bring him back to you as soon as possible. And she scoops him
Yeah,
up.
you can just do it. And they're just like,
Yes,
Where
I
is Eric,
understand.
by
He's
the way?
very cute.
He's just sitting over like 10
Okay.
feet from
I
them.
was like, where's the baby? All
He's
right.
not really doing anything.
Okay.
Eric's chilling.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she'll stand up, turn around with Caleb in his arms, and say, "Yes, sorry for interrupting. What can I help you with?"
No, no, I just haven't seen you in 2 years. You look good. You look healthy. He looks good. Sort of gesture towards Galen.
I did all right for
Um,
my first one, I think. And she kind of reaches out and just gently touches your cheek.
Are you happy? Please
I
tell me
think
you're
I am.
happy.
I think I am. I think. Or I will be soon.
That makes it a bit easier.
I won't say High Garden has made you healthier, as Melody Hall has done me, but you look good.
That is a word for it.
Hmm.
Yes.
Her hairstyle is popping. It's very different.
You've grown. I've grown.
Yes.
Henrik, you're like 5 feet sitting in a chair.
Yeah.
Just like,
Like,
tur- slowly turning
Yeah.
the chair.
Okay. Slowly.
You see Jaren
Yeah.
just like slowly like grab your arm and then just like slowly pull you away.
Okay, thank you.
I like after like a couple of seconds, I just like shake my head and I'm just like, it doesn't matter. Everything is in the past, yes? And you and your baby is beautiful. He is beautiful. I'm glad that you are happy or getting there. Maybe someday I will have that too.
At the end of that sentence, Caleb goes, "Nai."
I think he
He's looking at you, Naimora.
I think he likes you.
Oh. Well, the feeling is mutual.
Nai. Just like, and then he goes, just like a little.
I think he's about to either spit up or or drool on you.
And you see him just kind of like lean against you, Clarissa, and you can tell like he's tired.
It
been a
has
big
been a long
day.
day. We've met a lot of people, so
I should let you take care of him then. I need to talk with Lord Henric about Lord Henric.
Yeah, they're gone.
well,
I see.
Fully
he's not-
vacated the room.
Darren and Henrik are both gone.
No, chased out the other babies.
as
Alright,
long as he's not here,
Hmm.
you'll make sure he's safe, right? I've never doubted you of that, but
what,
this is
Lord
bigger.
Henric?
Yes.
Oh. If the concern is that Oberyn Martell is going to try to kill him, it's actually not really an if. It is how serious is Oberyn going to be about it. And with what little knowledge I have of Dorne, I will endeavor to make sure that this is as welcoming a place as possible. Guest rights still exist in Dorne.
Well,
Reduced as they are.
I trust that you will take it equally as seriously as him.
Oh, are you kidding? The chance to meet Oberyn Martell? To actually speak with him on equal footing instead of just seeing him from afar.
Well, actually, I will say, Namora, you have talked to Oberyn Martell before when you
Did
were
he
like
know
15.
who I was?
He
That's
did,
the
yeah.
thing.
He did. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, he talked to you once when you were young. You were like 15.
Mm.
And it was a soiree your father was holding. You, of course, were in the courtyard uh, practicing, and eventually you sat on the bench because you were not that welcome
Yeah, not allowed inside.
during that time. And it was with the Martells and the Iffinis and like a bunch of other like the coastal Dornish houses.
Mhm.
And Oberyn Martell like just like appeared near you. And he talked to you for a little bit. And he's like, "Are you the bastard?"
Okay.
Yeah. And then he
Does have a
basically told
fondness.
he basically told you like that doesn't mean anything. You know, if you're not welcome at the table, then you will, I suppose, have to make your own. Because you know, Oberyn talks about all of his children; they're all bastards, and he loves them very dearly.
He has a fondness for bastards, yes.
He does, and he talked to you quite sweetly. You kind of knew who he was at that point, but you
Mhm.
did not know of his reputation until afterwards, and you were like,
Mhm.
oh.
That was the closest that Dorn gets to actual royalty.
Yeah, he gave you sort of like
Very
a pep.
nearly.
He gave you sort of like a pep talk. Um,
Look at you now.
mhm.
And look at me now.
Yeah, look at
Let's
you
see.
now. Yeah, to you, he seemed like a good man. And then you heard all the shit about him, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
And you realize he probably wouldn't have talked to you that way unless you were a bastard.
Yeah. It's going to be very odd and having him here very important because in Dorne, Oberyn is loved. The people adore him. They adore all the ruling family, but Oberyn especially. He is likable. He talks to people. He loves his
Widely
daughters.
feared.
Yeah, widely feared. Listen, what ruling lord is not at least a little bit feared? Um,
Mace.
Teacher cut a man in half
Mace.
lengthwise.
Listen,
Yeah,
listen. Tedric does have the reputation of the Reaper of the Reach.
yeah.
So
Mace Tyrell is not the ruling lord. Olenna Tyrell is. Let's be
Yes.
real.
that is true.
Let's be real.
Mace
But-
technically has the title, though.
Yeah.
But with how close we are to Dorne, relatively speaking, and how influential Oberyn is, if this works and if he is treated well, it could open a bridge from Dorne into the Reach that they have not had in years and years and years. And I cannot imagine that they would not want that to some degree, to have access to
Yeah,
Imported-
Namora, you got it in one.
imported goods that do not take 8 to 10 months via ship.
Yup. And with the access you just got to the roads, like with the thing, this shit could be good.
Also, our port.
But it's
Listen,
all
you have a sword of Damocles over your head, you know, because of this. It's really bad if it falls, but if it maintains, you're king, baby.
Really, 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 really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that I hope that me being here places you already all in higher standing. Oberyn likes his bastards.
Well, as a guest of the Weirlights, simply Lady Birchsong, this wedding, you can be assured that that has just jumped to top priority on my list. Ensure he feels welcome. And we are open.
Have you resumed your stewarding duties, or is it still your
God, no.
sister?
Wedding times are party times are not my business or my duty. I can send it off to either of them, really. They're doing quite well without me, so.
This is right. Orton is helping as well. I
Mm.
should find him. I have a letter to deliver to him.
Yes. You just hear Orton. Yeah, he's just standing literally 5 feet from you to your left. He rolled higher than your awareness, your base awareness of like 24. Yeah.
Holy shit!
Just higher.
My heart leaps out of my chest,
Mhm.
and then please don't do that.
Apologize.
That is irritating. I get it now. She turns to Nymora. I get it.
He smiles.
do
you? Because this is the shit you did, Clarissa.
This is the first time it's ever happened to me, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it goes well. I've learned and observed from the best.
Correct.
Orton, if you would like to sit with us, we are discussing the.
Yeah, I heard you had a. No, I know that.
Open-
I know the situation. I've already contacted Thorsten to get the antidotes of all the snakes near the coast.
Oh, good.
You can't leave, I've decided. Must be here forever now.
Well, I'll tell you both a secret. I wasn't really planning on ever leaving.
Ah, good. Good.
But yes, I have a letter for you. To dig through my pockets.
From Allie, yes?
Oh, however did you guess?
I was expecting this.
Yeah.
I know she's paranoid of ravens.
She
doesn't
worked
like
so hard.
birds, it seems.
Said she works so hard on her letters that she is worried that they will never reach their destination.
He nods.
I pull out the note and I hand it to him.
Yeah, he does it, and just in front of you, he'll just open it and look over it, and he just goes, "Ha!" Excellent.
Have you reached the part about oh, what is it? The one of Lady Tyrell's, Lady Olena's bodyguards.
I do know about that, yes. No, I don't think there's a reason to keep this. Ali and I have a sort of game we play, and this is just her response to my last one. It's quite good.
I did not take her for a Savas player.
Oh, no. No, not Savas. No, she's no.
Murder.
No, it's
Game of murder.
let's call it a game of threat assessment.
Good game.
We make up scenarios for one another and come with responses to deal with them. I originally tried to do this with her, but she was very stubborn about it. But when I made it into a sort of contest, she seemed much more interested. The chance to win seems to be very big in her mind.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
And her response is hilarious. It works, but it's very funny. But yes, yes, I know. I've already been preparing for Oberyn, and I'm sure that your advice will be most helpful here.
I recall a few other things that he liked to do, at least when I was young.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
I do not know if they are still relevant. He may have changed his style, but then again,
Mhm.
who knows?
Yeah,
Poisons
absolutely.
come in fashion the same as dresses.
They do. Yeah, so he goes, Thorsten already has several antidotes to Leishan poison, so I'm not that worried. But yeah, all right, excellent. So I'm just gonna leave you guys sort of there discussing.
Is there?
Yeah.
Sorry, I know you're thinking, but I was there.
No,
Wondering
yeah.
if we could have a quick conversation with Tedric.
100%. Yeah, you're on the veranda. You're talking. You're alone. No servants.
Yeah.
There are two serving servants outside, like in the room
Mhm.
outside the veranda, waiting to be like called upon. But it's just you two. Wind slightly tussling your hair.
Mm-hmm.
It's only windy because of the fucking height of your goddamn castle.
It's very true. It's big.
It's a massive, beautiful view of the red poppy fields.
Mm-hmm.
The sun is setting.
Right. Diedrich, there's something I wish to have discussed with you, if I may.
Of course.
Well, this is most likely the only time I will meddle in the affairs of our son's matrimonial status. But, well, I remember how I felt when you were courting me. And I know Henric is too proud to ask. But perhaps if you were to inform him that with the responsibilities expected of him, that a future family is also as important. As I know you know very well, you've made me a very happy woman and an
Yes.
incredibly blessed wife. And I think from you, Henric would greatly appreciate some advice. I mean, don't go into detail. He doesn't need to know all your secrets.
Yes.
Uh,
But, give him the starter lessons.
Isle appears and quickly fills your goblet that's empty. Diedrich is just like disappears. Like-
Oh, he's getting so good at that.
It really is. Yeah.
Almost as quiet as
But
Clarissa.
I just now with Lord Oberon or Prince Oberon, I need to not make that mistake at dinner. But with him coming, I do not want Henric to be overwhelmed with wanting to present himself so perfectly that he forgets the true reason of this gathering is that he is to be married. And our hope is that it is his only marriage. So
We'll
Yes,
deal
it
with my
will-
wife.
It will be the last marriage he ever has.
stop it.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Hopefully it's the last, because it's the
Next
only
time.
marriage I'll ever have, because it'll be great and it'll
Yeah.
last forever, right? Right?
It'll be great. It'll be great.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
like to
yeah.
stand
Last
and
to
just,
the
like,
end of your days.
but standing up and like coming to back behind the chair, Diedrich is
Yeah.
sitting in, wrapping my arms around his neck and kissing his cheek.
Mhm.
And please, for my heart's sake, no more jumping off of banisters. Please.
I promise I will not jump off another banister.
All right.
You
Draw
He has his
baby
fingers
step.
crossed behind
You
his
look,
back.
you look at the like crutch he's essentially using to get around at the
Mhm.
moment. Like-
Yeah, but that's it.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Mariella.
Yes.
Is there something that you personally wish to accomplish in this moment before the wedding starts with any of the other characters? You have free reign. You wanted to talk to Ashella or any of the Ashfords or the wedding planner, or if you wanted something
No,
specific to happen.
Fuck the wedding planner. I'm dealing with rich cats right now. It's like no.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Expensive taste cats. Not
Mhm.
interested. Oh man, who to potentially talk to? I almost feel like I want to talk to Clarissa before Claude potentially shows up at the house.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Clarissa, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah.
There you are. Beautiful. Yeah, so you have discussed a sort of plan that you guys can access later in the game to help and deal with Oberon being there, and you guys can just be like, hey, did we plan for this? And I can be like, totally, and then, so what do you do? What's the thing? And we can just do that, because y'all are schemers. So,
Beautiful.
Mariella, you are found by, Clarissa, you are found by Mariella.
My lady.
She looks so much older.
Still the same size though.
Yeah, no, didn't go any height, but her demeanor and her hair and her clothes, she just looks, older.
Regal.
Oh, very regal. Like she was always like she was like effervescent when she was in a Weirlight, but after coming from High Garden, she looks much more like royalty almost.
Yeah, with Caleb kind of hooked under her arm, she just
Mhm.
walks up and like pats both sides of your cheek, turning you, and she says, "I know, my lady, that you are your mother's protege, but I feel I get a little bit of credit in some of them. You look delightful."
I would like to think I learned a bit of the subtle hand from you.
Not incorrect. I'm going to find my handmaiden. Would you like to join me? You look.
Yes. There were a few conversations, and that have cropped up since probably my last raven reached you. And kind of like turn towards the direction that
Yeah,
Clarissa had
you
been
you
walking.
begin to walk the grounds.
I do offer to hold the baby. He's all grabby hands.
Please do.
Yeah. So, as you know, Claude has been very invested in my potential rising while in High Garden. I've yet to officially meet a few of his creatures, but I believe that that's imminent. Although Allie was able to possibly identify one of them in advance. Similar to Allie as a handmaiden, a woman by the name of Lisette working in the kitchens.
Clarissa, that name sounds familiar to you. You
Okay.
remember a woman a while ago in Claude's like retinue that was sort of always just sort of, it's not like his like hangout spot, but like it's the crew he travels with, and there are people like servants with him, and you recall there were many times where Claude would like call Lisette and like say something to her, and then she would like walk off. Then the name sounds very familiar to her, and you can kind of picture her a little bit in your mind. If you roll memory, you could perhaps remember more.
I have that skill.
You do.
She's got stuff in there.
All right, let's do it. Oh, geez, what a cunning.
Mm-hmm. Cunning memory.
17.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. You remember now. You know exactly who Lisette is. Lisette is Claude's wife's like personal handmaid. That's why she was always around. She was very good at like not being seen. She's like a twig of a woman. Like just like there was like a lot of jokes of like if she turned sideways, you're not sure if you could see her. Like she was just thin, skinny as all hell. You could never tell her age because her face was always kind of pulled rather tight against her skin, like she didn't eat well or something. And so her age was very difficult to determine. To this day, you have no idea how she could be either 19 or 50. Like it's just that huge range, and you're just like, I don't know. But she really, really had Claude's wife's ear, like very much like co-conspirator kind of way, and she often talked to Claude about things. You never had a conversation with her. She was always just like "milady" and like just faded away.
Right.
But yeah, you remember her. You're pretty sure she's not noble. But she's obviously she's a hired help, but she is very, very, obviously Claude's wife's handmaid. So.
Yes, I'm surprised. Lisette was, or I suppose still is, Claude's wife's maiden.
Interesting.
Certainly is. Had her ear quite thoroughly, if I understand correctly.
I guess we'll see how he introduces her. And we'll come
You've
to
heard it
that.
all. You've heard it all before, Mariella, but please be careful of him and his creatures.
He is interested in me only so far as it increasing his position.
Yes. He's about to get a rather big increase in position should he decide to off his father, as I believe he will soon. Made a lot of choices in the last 3 years that I question daily, but that I am confident with your help and your mother's help we'll be able to handle swiftly.
Well,
The tides change quickly.
I know he's anticipating returning back to the keep of House Asterwood within a time. I'm not quite sure
The Akelins.
when,
That's...
but well,
When was... Sorry, continue. Erin.
No, go for it.
I was just going to ask, when was the last time Claude was back in the Akelins?
It was probably a little after your he was there for a little bit after your dad like fully stepped down.
Mm-hmm.
He was just there for like the ceremony of it, and he like hugged his uncle and did the glad handing, and people like, oh my god, Claude, you're so cool.
Right, yes, of course.
You gained such high standing.
And then of course his father stepped up as heir, and when that happened, there was like a bit of like tension because people were like, will all of Alder's daughters be able to like still be there, and stuff, and it was stated that yes, of course, that nothing will change with that. Of course, that's what his brother wanted, and this is a natural state of things, and yeah, I mean, honestly, between your father and your uncle, there's not a ton of difference besides like weight and hair. Like,
Yeah.
they're very similar people.
How many of my siblings are still there? I know that Catalina would probably go back there, but...
Eventually, yeah. Two of your siblings are still there.
Ooh. I should write them letters. Clary just makes a mental note. But on that note, yeah, she kind of explains all of that, just stream of consciousness. But on the note of my siblings very quickly, Mariella, I am hoping... I don't pray, but if there was something equivalent to that, I would be praying. That I can get my sister married soon. Like, very soon. Hopefully after this wedding. I would appreciate any help you could give her and I in this endeavor, should you have the time.
Did you possibly have any ideas of with whom?
I have schemes. I always have schemes, but that's neither here nor there. My main goal at this point, where we stand, is to simply get her married. Hopefully to somebody that she'll enjoy, but if not, hopefully she will understand.
I can keep an eye out. Granted, if Constance has her eye on an individual, I think we might need to let Constance get her pick.
You do know Constance is very, very trying hard to get married.
Yeah.
Yes. That's understandable, of course.
But I can keep an ear out. I was thinking, depending on everything going on, if for some reason she's no longer acting steward for whenever you might decide to come back and clear the roost of all of the visiting hens, maybe she could assist me with some things. If it's a case of keeping her out from under that roof.
It absolutely is. That is the main goal.
So, Mariella, are you offering that if she stops being steward and you get what you want, that you would make Catalina your like handmaid essentially? If you had that high position.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's a good. I mean, yeah, Clarissa, your sister living in Highgarden.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. And Catalina's charming enough. When she's in Highgarden, she can find a knight. There's so many knights.
She could find a dude.
There's so many young, horny knights.
But slightly back to topic.
Of course.
I know that he's very invested. He also, Claude, had mentioned that there seemed to be rumors working around, specifically the likelihood of whomever Garland will be marrying will be established within the year, if not the actual marriage. But whoever it is will be established then. I do not know how he heard this or from who. But right now, from what Ashella seemed to allude to from a previous conversation, I seem to possibly be within at least the running in Garland's eyes. I have yet to figure out how that might be interpreted by one Olena.
Claude didn't tell you that getting Garland to like you is a good part of it, but the real choice comes down to Elena.
Yeah.
I have the utmost faith in you, Mariella, but should you ever need help in any of your schemes to get her on your side, I am always available.
Well, ironically, Allie is taking her own steps to figure things out, but I do think possibly once I figure out who Claude's second creature is, maybe getting insight as to who that truly is could be of aid.
Of course.
But I figure let you know what he is planning, but it sounded like he was planning to take a prolonged absence at some point in the future from Highgarden.
It's not that I didn't expect this news, it's that I'm disappointed it's come in the first place. So
I'm not quite sure when it will be because he has yet to introduce me to his creatures, which he assured he would do beforehand. But once that introduction is made, you can basically take that as a waving of a flag.
all right. Thank you very much for the information. I am at your disposal during wedding times and via Raven, should you...
There's no one else other than maybe Orton better at sussing out secrets.
Or just different types of secrets.
It's very true. And Lord knows I'm more familiar with you than I am with Orton. So
I don't know what that guy's deal is. I'll figure it out one day.
I have rarely spent time with him. As soon as he came, I was leaving.
That's a very good point. Well,
I
will
don't
be
even
here
think I've
now.
actually properly spoken to him.
You do have a rather skewed view of Orton Lugas at that point then, considering the trial and subsequent actions. I encourage you to speak to him. He's very useful in a number of ways, and he's also entertaining. I must say so.
In your sense, or more common, noble sense?
You know, definitely in my sense. It's fair to call me out on that one. That was my bad.
I think I slightly juggle Callum a little bit as we kind of go. But I will send more ravens as I figure things out. And with the exception of possible wants of Constance, I can try to keep an eye and ear out for Catalina, unless there's also somebody else that needs assistance, another sibling.
I don't think so. But, Mariella, you have Weirlight blood. Anything you set out to do will be successful in the end. I fully believe that. It's pretty much what my family was built off of.
First, that you suddenly notice something. Caleb isn't making any noise anymore. You notice he's just been staring up at Mariella, going like, just like his little baby mouth open, and he's just staring at Mariella. He hasn't made any noise.
He either has a crush on you or something is very wrong. Can I try and take him from her?
Yeah, it's very easy. He doesn't resist or anything. But when you now hold him, he looks at you, goes, "Mama, and he just starts pointing at Mariella, and he's like almost trying to tell you something about her, in a very baby way. Like, don't die, and like touches your face. It's just like.
I feel like in a very first-time mother way, she kind of like clutches him closer and like looks at Mariella, and then relaxes and says, "Right, I must get ready for dinner, as should you. Very exciting night."
Okay then.
Absolutely.
We'll forget about it very soon. She turns around and walks away.
All right, we are about to end, but before we do, we see the dinner scene. We see this long table set out. This is more of a little bit more of a private dinner between the Ashfords and, of course, the Weirlights. Thorsten, you are very much expected to be there.
I am there. In my
Yeah, of
Down
nicest
the
robe.
book. We have to
My
go.
nicest robe.
Come on.
Yep, everyone shows up to the dinner. People sit down. People begin lightly talking. Tiedric Ashfell is like very much talking to you about, like, I don't know if you heard, but there's going to be quite a bit of more trade between the Reach, and he's almost bragging as if it was like his idea, sort of. But he's definitely not taking credit, but he's bragging as if it was his idea.
I'm just gonna let it go.
Yeah. You're like, okay, well,
Just
if
with
he
a big
needs that.
smile on my face.
Yes, his wife is like, oh, very impressive, my dove. Absolutely. I've always said, Weirlight and Ashford, now that we've together, I mean, who can stop us, eh? And she just like puts an orange peel into her mouth and just starts like.
It's
Yeah,
stressing.
crazy lady.
Oh, okay.
This is like psychologically damaging me. Every
You and me both.
What do they keep meaning by that? Like, if
Okay.
we're glad to end, that's fine. But definitely next time, I want to see what do they mean. Look, are they alluding to like they have powerful enemies in the Reach?
You're not sure if Gwendolyn is all there.
All right, that's fair. This woman's eating orange peels.
Yeah.
activates every fight or flight instinct in my body.
So
Okay.
you're all sat down,
Yeah.
and Henric, this is the first time you're kind of allowed to like see Ashella, essentially.
Okay.
What do you do? Do you look at her?
Am I sitting next to her?
No, you're across from her.
I think I just shy at first and like kind of collect myself, and I do like try to smile warmly at her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you say anything?
I finally get to see you, and I'm so glad you're here. Lady.
Okay. Yeah. So you say that. Give me a charm. Just come on, whip your charm out.
Okay. Whipping it out. Charm.
Whip your charm out.
Okay.
That's
That
what they
could be
call it nowadays, huh?
indecent, man.
Gotta whip it out. Okay. Yeah. I think my +2 is in convince, not
Yeah,
charm.
it is.
Yeah, okay. Just because I'm always really nervous to do things with Ashella, can I use the destiny point to get like a
Yeah,
Bonus
think it's
die.
yeah,
bonus
absolutely.
die? Yeah,
Bonus
that'd
die, absolutely.
be- Please, I'd like that. Thank you. Here we go.
17.
Nice.
17.
The
Tien
bonus die
was
didn't add into there.
And 15. Oh boy.
No, I did.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it did.
I added a bonus die. I don't know if attractive would count for
The-
this.
It does.
Huh.
Do you have any one? You have 2 ones. You want to re-roll those? It
Yeah, I'd
counts.
like to. Sure, totally.
She finds you attractive.
6. Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Does that help? Oh, it is
Yes.
helpful one.
It replaces a
did.
3.
It basically makes it
23?
one higher.
So 18 total.
Yeah, so it's 18 now.
Oh,
Yeah, so yeah, she the TN was 15. It was high. But yeah, you do it. And so you say that, and she like looks at you and is like,
Yeah.
thank you. And it looks like she's about to say something, but Henric, I need you to make a will check
don't like this. Okay.
as you look at her longingly.
Any
Um,
specialties?
I have courage. Yeah, I have courage
have
and dedication. Anything?
Neither of those will work
Yeah.
here. I am so sorry.
It's all right. I will try it anyway.
Yeah. All right. So why don't you just roll will, please?
Roll it. Oh, that's a 9.
It's a 9.
Wasn't great.
No.
Or
No.
I want.
Don't worry, I got the antidote
try it
ready.
again?
You want
I
to spend
do-
a destiny point to re-roll?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Go for it.
Oh boy. It was worse. I shouldn't have done that.
Well, you take the better of the 2.
Okay,
the 9.
okay.
You still fail.
Yeah.
So, Henric, Ashella is about to say something to you.
So I can pass out right now.
And Henric, suddenly everything goes like, as you look at her, everything sort of disappears but
no.
Ashella. And as she's talking to you, you see these strange, like, vines begin to, like, grow behind her. And suddenly blood starts, like, weeping. She looks like she suddenly starts weeping blood. As her eyes slowly, fully turn, like, red and blood-filled. And as she opens her mouth, like, more blood comes down. And then she, like, her body begins to, like, looks like it's in horrible pain. Looks like she's dying horribly. And then her mouth opens real wide as if she's trying to scream, but no noise comes out. Let's see, 9. Well, it's better than 5, I'll tell you that. The worst you roll is bad. So, you're just watching this in... I mean, I hope horror. Like,
I think I'm like, unfortunately, not completely used to this. This is still fucking terrifying to me, so I'm trying not to bolt. But I'm like visibly.
you feel like you can't move.
I think I'm like gripping the tablecloth like so tight right now.
You don't
I'm
even
just,
see
like,
the table
staring.
anymore. Everything's
damn it.
faded
Everything's
away.
gone. Okay.
And she's just
Okay.
standing there, screaming, and she almost like rises up slightly, and then something horrible, something falls from her dress, and then she just disintegrates. And you see a bloody mess on the ground, and then suddenly like a hand and an arm, and then a leg, they just form out of it, and it fully stands up as like a toddler, but it's all bloody and fleshy, but its face is wood. And its eyes are the whites of the sclera are black, and it has massive eyes that are deep and green and old and flecked with gold, and these horrible sharp teeth open, and it looks at you, and it says something in a language you don't know, but understand for some reason.
Okay.
You've never heard this language in your life, but you know exactly what that means.
Okay.
I think, and it just it says, "You like uphold your duty," and just fades to black. Everyone else, Ashella begins to speak to Henric at dinner, and Henric then suddenly like starts gripping the tablecloth really hard, and he starts shaking. Clarissa, you've seen this before. You know exactly what's about to happen.
As do I.
Yes, Thorsten, you've been told how this works. And begins to shake, and his eyes suddenly roll back into his head, and everyone just like starts turning and looking very. Yeah, Vivian, you see this? Your son is something's happening to your son.
Yeah,
Immediately stand up and go to him.
Yeah. Can I start calling for Cedric and Orton to come and pick him up and take
Absolutely, yeah. They start coming in. Lord Ashford, like, what's going on? Is the lad all right? What's going on? And Ashella's like, Henric? What? And Henric just falls kind of back as Thorsten, you kind of grab him. He just starts convulsing. And I mean, like, you know, to you guys, you know, this would be known as the shaking sickness. It's a seizure. And Clarissa, you've seen this exact kind of seizure before. He's having some kind of thing. So Orton, Cedric are immediately stand up, come over, begin to move him out. Tidric, Vivian, Mariella, what are you guys doing? How are you reacting? You've never seen this before.
Yeah, I can't do anything.
I'm immediately getting up and running over to him.
Okay, absolutely. Vivian, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think I'm just ordering like to just clear the way so Thorsten can do what he needs to do.
Okay.
Get Henric moved to Thorsten's
All right.
office and stuff.
Okay, Mariella, what are you doing? You see your brother is having some kind of attack.
Yeah. Question: Are the younger siblings also at the table?
Yeah.
I think I immediately try to like deal with the younger kids.
Absolutely.
It's like I really want to go, and like I probably convey that with like a look to Clarissa, but it's like I got the kids.
Yeah, I think she gives you,
Tisea like screams for Henric. She looks really concerned. And you immediately help with the younger kids and just be like, hey, it's okay. You deal with them. You control that situation. You see Ashlyn has stood up and is like, looking very concerned and confused. And Lord Ashford is like immediately like telling Gwendolyn to like look away and look through things. You know, this is too extreme for a woman to see kind of situation. A lot of the Ashfords just sort of like, they look concerned for sure, but they're just like, what do we do? What happens?
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
No, you guys have begun to move into action and do things. Hedrick, Thorsten, Cedric, and Orton are like moving your son very, very gently but quickly away. Are you asking questions of them? Like, what's going on? What are you doing?
I'm trying to get Henric's attention.
Okay.
And also just telling Thorsten, get him taken care of now.
Thorsten, do you like put you know what to do? Do you put like a dowel in his mouth?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I never even in all dressed fancy as I am, I don't leave my bag.
No, I 100% believe you have what you need on you. Don't worry. You're weird enough that you definitely do that.
And as fancy as you are, in your fanciest gray robe.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a type of role to like get myself like under control, but I would, knowing I can't do anything for Henric, could I try to?
Yes, you could roll
the Ashfords that are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything's fine. I don't know what's happening, but like,
like we're dealing with it. You're fine. Like you have no responsibility here.
Yeah.
Enjoy the dinner. I'm so sorry. We'll see what happens. And you can be like, this hasn't happened before, and I'm worried.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all look concerned. You wouldn't have to roll. I'm going to say at this
Okay.
point your family has very much endeared yourself to at least the important Ashfords. Ashelica is still a bitch, but
Please, if she wants to get uppity, we can send her to her husband. But wait.
but wait.
Oh.
Yeah, so you don't yeah, but I would say after you like calm them down and kind of like walk towards the thing, like I will say like because you're here, Mariella, you do quietly hear Ashelica make like a pretty horrific remark. And you do like very quietly to herself, and you do see like Ashella and Ashlyn just like look at her but don't say anything. I mean, it's some. I wouldn't know the exact detail, but it's pretty horrible. It's like some remark about like, you know, I always thought he was half a man before, but if he can't even control his own body, what worth is he? Like just something very quietly she just says to herself. She's not like stating the table, but you definitely hear like a little bit of it, Mariella. And you just see Ashlyn and Ashella just like fucking stare at her, but neither of them say anything. And then Ashelica just like stands up, like, "Well, I've lost my appetite," and just sort of like walks away with her handmaidens.
Somebody's on my shit list.
Yeah, Nymora, what are you doing?
I think that the first thing that I would have done, just because we've been talking about like we've been talking about poisons.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah.
Is just because I don't know what the fuck is happening. Just
you like grab his plate and goblet or something.
Yeah, and to take it out with me.
Absolutely, yeah. No, you do it. You do it immediately, and you start going to where you're in, just in case something's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is Oberyn here already?
No. This is not the wedding. This is just.
I was making a joke.
No.
Is the poison?
Is Oberyn already here? My God, was the note poisoned? Who knows?
Who knows? The note might have been poisoned.
Clarissa
Find
stirred,
Oberyn
she also
hiding in the
touched it.
bushes.
All right. You get Henric back to Thorsten's office. He's laid down in a bed. Actually, and Thorsten, you begin to Thorsten, you have your stuff with you, so I think you'll probably take him to his room because that's kind of the norm for nobles. He's got a dowel in his head. By the time you place him on the bed, he stops shaking. He's now completely motionless. You check Thorsten. He is breathing. Tidric, I'm guessing Thorsten, you're like, he's breathing to everyone else, and
yes. As I'm finding out the status of anything going on with them, I am relaying that status.
Excellent. You do notice there's a lot of people in this room, Thorsten, and you are going to need some room.
Yes.
So you probably tell everyone, but like Tidric or Clarissa to leave.
I would like everybody to leave but Clarissa, just to, and I put my hand on my brother's shoulder. I will personally come to you and let you know.
Okay. Tidric, do you just like wait outside the room? Okay. Vivian, you kind of catch up with everyone. You see Tidric and some other people standing outside Henric's room. You're muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, just immediately going up to once the guests are taken care of and everything else like that, just to Tidric immediately. What's happening? Is he all right, Tidric? What's happening to our son?
He's breathing. Thorsten is the best person that we know of to take care of someone.
Yeah, Orton says he stopped shaking. He's still now.
Right. Yeah, and I think I'm just like panicking because everything that happened with like Philippa and just
suddenly Nymora kind of like comes in holding like food and goblet and like probably like nods to you guys and walks to you. You're going to absolutely.
Like they set it down.
Yeah, you set it down in the room, and Thorsten, you're like, oh, that actually could be good, possibly.
Yes.
I'm not entirely. Is he?
He stopped shaking and he's breathing. I'm going to figure out what's wrong with him and make sure he's good.
I don't know how likely it is that someone tried to poison him. but considering the talk of poisons lately, I thought, well,
Can we start talking about riches for the house?
Riches? What?
what?
Because we talk about poisons and we suspect poisoning.
Oh,
If we talk about riches, can we expect riches?
You expect riches? Got it. All right,
Um,
so Namor, you are kind
while-
of like moved out of the room, and I will say it
Yeah.
is now
I've
Thorsten,
shuffled away.
Clarissa, and now just Henric in the room.
Yeah, when I found him on the roof like this,
Mhm.
I was able to help him a little bit.
Mhm.
So I think just banking on the fact that as an Astrowood, it's what I'm supposed to do. I like push him up and sit behind him and just put my hands like on his temples.
Okay.
I'm just talking to him.
Mhm.
I'm saying, I was going to find you about the Dream Blade. Things got so messed up. I'm so sorry, Henric. And I'm just sitting there talking to him.
Absolutely. You were beginning to say that, Thorsten. You're looking over. Thorsten, do you want to look in the food and drink?
Yes,
While
I
she's-
would like to look in the food and drink.
Cool. I will just need a awareness check or a cunning check from you. It's your choice.
I'm gonna take a straight cunning check because it's
Excellent.
higher. You
All
ready?
right, go for it. Yep, go for it. All right. Are you good with that?
Does Lucky let me know if I succeed or fail before I use it?
So you no, but you can use lucky if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna use Lucky.
You're gonna use lucky. All right, go for it.
Oh, well, rude.
9.
That's
I am
Very
going to not burn. I'm gonna spend a destiny point and re-roll.
Okay.
I swear to God, if I get another fucking 9, I'm gonna be pissed. There we
Hey.
go.
ah.
There was a
Nine.
9 in there.
Right.
There was a 9 in there, but holy shit. Yeah. Okay. So the TN was 12. So you blew it out of the water. Yeah, Thorsten. Nothing in the food, but in the one sip Henrik had when he sat down, there is something in the goblet. There is a weird little seed.
Does it look like a Weirlight seed?
Yeah, it looks like a Weirlight seed. It's a Weirlight seed. Yeah.
Damn it.
Just can't fucking escape this for one night.
Henrik.
It knows.
Henrik, you can move suddenly. And the horrifying scene before you fades away as you went black, and suddenly you wake up. And you can see yourself and move around, and you're standing in what looks like a thicket of some kind of thorns. And suddenly you feel, as you stand up, there's a weight on your hip, as if there's something hanging from it. And you look down, and it's a sword. A sword you remember from a long time ago, years ago, when you had that fit. You saw it. You used it to cut yourself free. It hurt you, but you used it to cut yourself free. And you see the barbed handle of the sword at your side.
My hand
Mhm.
with a hilt, and I look. I see anything? Is it just like
It looks like a
vines
thicket,
and everything?
but it looks like, as you focus, it almost looks like a maze.
I keep my hand on the sword, not drawing it or anything yet, and I'm gonna try to move forward out of
Okay.
this, whatever it is.
All right. There is a path. There are two paths before you. There is a dark tunnel of thickets, and there is a more raised, like hedge tunnel of thickets to your right. To take the tunnel or the hedge.
Take the hedge.
Do you take the hedge? Note, he has taken the hedge.
Okay. Wait, I go back. Oh, Mazepedia.
As you walk towards the hedge, it closes behind you.
Okay, I can't go back.
Once you make a decision, you cannot go back.
So many things.
Your
in my
finger
life.
off the page.
Jesse. Yeah, you walk. You continue to walk forward, handle on the hilt. It begins a little wider here and a little brighter. To the point where suddenly you feel like you're being watched from above. And as you look up, there are in the light, hidden almost, and in the dark, there are just eyes staring at you. Eyes you recognize, those black sclera, green irised large eyes. Some of them yellow and golden, ranging from like greens to golds, essentially, in spiraling effects. And you move forward, and then suddenly you hear a voice. A voice begins to sound in your mind, and I would like you to make another will roll.
I'm so great at those. Yeah, of course. Okay.
Remember, you have destiny.
I do. Left, so. It's higher.
Yeah, so you can either use a destiny point to re-roll or to make it one higher.
One of them was a 1. I'll use a destiny to make it 1 higher, so it'll be a 12.
12. The
So
TN was
12.
12. You
Ooh.
wake up suddenly, but before you leave, you suddenly see in the light in the distance a large door, and it looks strange and almost familiar. And then suddenly, you wake up, and Clarissa's holding you, and you're in your bed, and Thorsten's like looking over you, and he wakes up. Clarissa,
Ah, Henric.
Henrik, you feel tired.
What happened? Where am I in my room right now? What happened?
And Henrik, on your right hand, you notice there are small little pricks in your hand from when you were touching the handle.
I immediately see him looking at his hand, and I'm like, that wasn't there before.
Nope.
What'd you see?
I saw
As you start saying it, I say, talk softly. Your dad is right outside your door.
that happened with everyone, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
When Ashella started talking, her body just got overwhelmed by vines, and something transformed her into this twisted, dark thing that started bleeding and floated for a second, but then fell. And whatever crumpled mess it was, what came out of it was, it almost looked like a baby, but it had a wooden face and these black eyes staring at me. They said I had to pay what was owed to them, I think. And then I blacked out, and when I woke up, I was outside in just this thicket, and I tried to follow a path, but I think it was leading to this maze where I saw those same blackish eyes looking at me at the sky, and I looked down at my hand. There was I was scared, but I had this sword with me, and
Sword.
it helped me before.
You had a sword?
What did the sword look
Yeah,
like?
this vicious, like it was made with, like the handle was made out of thorns.
Henrik, you mentioned that this is a sword that you've seen before when you
Yeah,
ripped it free.
I had seen it, so I knew it was what it was there for, and it would help. And in the first time when I had this, I blacked out. I saw that sword. It was stuck on the ground, and I pulled it out, and it freed me from minds that were trying to attack me. I saw it again, and thought I could use it. But nothing came at me then. I was just trying to find my way through this maze.
The first time this happened, when you grabbed the sword, did you have the same marks on your hand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And suddenly, Calissa, yeah, you remember there were weird marks on his hand.
I almost, and I cut myself in a dream, and it was still there when I woke up.
You used it to cut yourself free from the vines. And apparently you still have it.
Really metal.
Feel like still kind of in her grasp.
Yeah.
She like squeezes the top of his shoulders and says, "Henric, it's possible. You can do this. You can break it." You have
Henric, you're
time."
like, what?
The curse.
I can do what?
Break the curse.
Break my skull the next time I pass out on the table? I don't.
Next time we'll do it in a far more controlled environment. You won't be anywhere near falling. That's for sure.
Yeah, but so yeah, when you say you can break the curse, there is this suddenly like weird sense in you, Henric. Almost like you feel the presence of someone else in the room. It's a masculine presence, though not overwhelming. And you feel Clarissa squeezing your shoulders, but you feel like another hand placed on your shoulder, this sort of phantom hand. And like you just hear a masculine voice say, "I'm sorry." It's like you're thinking that a voice is talking to you. It's not like you hear it with your ear. It's almost like, and you don't even hear it in your head. It's like your own thought. It's so strange. And the warmth.
That was the asshole that caused the curse.
Or warmth
okay.
doesn't come from like the top of your skin. It almost comes from underneath it, like in your blood. And then before the presence leaves, he says, "I'm sorry again," and then you hear that it falls to you, and it disappears. And that is where we're going to end our game today. Yes, that's right. Everyone thought the stress of the wedding was enough, but now something's wrong with Henric. A few people know that this is a good thing, but everyone else is like, is my son an epileptic?
Not just that, we have uninvited guests arriving.
Uninvited guests. Our current guests
They're-
know I have seizures. It's bad. Oh,
Yep.
God.
Right, but the Ashfords have it's in their benefit to not let other people know.
Yes,
We're
Yeah.
gonna have to deal with Ashella or
You will 100% have to deal with Ashella.
yeah,
The other Ashfords will definitely see that this nobody should know about this, and if you don't want them to,
yeah.
Ashella though, she might tell everybody.
Well, we'll deal with her.
I'm the one at the table. Guess who's getting snitched on?
Mm.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Is there any poisons or anything that just cause shaking syndrome?
People have different reactions to different doses of poison. You, with your insane skill, could form a poison that could make someone go into a seizure. Though, again, seizures are very deadly, and they could kill the person, right? That's why whatever Henric is going through isn't really a seizure. It's more like his body just reacting to things that no one else can see.
But I'd like to potentially...
Put together a case for the Ashfords.
No. I'd like to make it look like he was poisoned with something that made him have a seizure.
Oh.
That it was an attempt on his life.
Okay.
That way, it doesn't look like he voluntarily had it or his body just did it. It was
I will say that is a
involuntary.
new complication because then everyone's going to be looking for a phantom.
Yeah, I know. Then this is the conundrum, and so next episode.
Next episode. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. A lot of light stuff, a lot of just kind of accomplishing things. Aha, isn't everything great? Bam.
Thanks.
And I'm very sad that Mariella was so willful and avoided years ago the infestation thing, because then she could have had a seizure too.
Oh, great.
Ooh.
Remember that one
Double
time we all
twins.
rolled together?
I
Like,
was-
let's see who
I
will
just-
roll higher.
I tried to grab a Weirlight kid, and Henric is the only one I could get.
That's not the roll, Aaron.
Okay,
The
so
the
you
roll
say
was the
that.
shits and giggles roll of the birthday.
Oh, God.
Like, here's the thing: you say that, but Cal can see things, and that makes me nervous.
Callum
bit,
did
yeah.
something.
Maybe knows some
He's
shit
an
about,
Ashford.
about Mariella. That scares me.
Callum is a fucking Asterwood. And I mean, you think, but anyway, thank you so much for coming. Very exciting episode. We will see you guys next time.
Yay.